A very warm welcome to the new episode of Cricket Reborn Podcast. It's another day and it's the T20 World Cup that's buzzing in the air in this cricket realm. Well, India has freshly beaten Pakistan by a thumping 61 runs, and here we are to discuss halfway through the T20 World Cup, the tournament. We've got a special guest along with us, and it's none other than a familiar face for many of you who follow Forgotten Cricket Memories in Instagram, someone who is recently collaborating with Robin Uthappa as well for a show called Chronicles of Cricket. Joining by my side is someone who lives and breathes anecdotes of cricket. And it's time to welcome Debjit Lahiri. Welcome, Debjit. It's a pleasure to have you out here.
Thank you, Arijit. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm really looking forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward as well. And with the T20 World Cup out here, recently India beat Pakistan by 61 runs. Many people cited, a few pundits did say that it's just a one-sided affair. Do you also feel the same? It's no more that intense rivalry between India and Pakistan anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, from the cricketing quality wise, there seems to be a gulf in class and between the two sides, which was not that evident probably a couple of decades ago. So yeah, the from strictly cricketing point of view, it has been one sided over the last few years, and but then again, it's always India, Pakistan. There is a bit of political theater surrounding that, and no matter how much you say that sports can be in isolation with what is happening geopolitically, you cannot discount the human element and the emotions behind the match. So in that respect, it will always continue to be sort of a rivalry, but strictly from cricketing point of view, I think, and especially in T20 cricket, I think India is miles ahead right now than Pakistan, and that showed on the field today.
Yeah, I was going through the changes in T20 cricket. I mean, in the last one, I mean, in this particular year, and I see a change in approach for many teams. One of them being South Africa, the other being India, Australia. I mean, there's a gung-ho approach that they have adopted at the top of the order, especially inside the power play. And to my amusement, I mean, there are teams that lose wickets and somehow they come to a defensive role with the bat. But when it comes to India, the approach continues. And with that, I just want to bring out Ishan Kishan. I mean, what a knock it was yesterday against Pakistan. He just set the momentum, set the tone for India's win.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kishan has been someone who has been doing well domestically, did well in the IPL, and it was kind of a brave call from the selectors to bring him in with so little time ahead of the T20 World Cup. But he has proved their decisions right, and it's been amazing. I think the way he's giving starts, even when Abhishek Sharma has been failing at the top of the order. Now India has like uh, strong attacking batsmen at the top of the order. So even if one of them do not work out, the other keeps up the momentum. And also about going gung ho, I think since the transition from the senior players to a more younger T20 sides after the 2024 T20 World Cup. I think the younger players are more naturally aggressive and have less fear. And I think there's not no one really playing that anchor role. You could argue maybe Tilak Marma a little bit and Surya Kumar. They did it today during that 7 to 14 over phase, uh, but mostly everyone is having that attacking mindset, and I think collectively also since the 2022 semi-final loss to England, India made that mental shift to be attacking throughout the innings. And uh, I think IPL played a role as well because of the possibility to include an impact player. They had that batting depth, and the franchises started also adapting that same high ultra aggressive batting, which I think is now getting inculcated. The mindset is sort of getting inculcated in the national side as well, even though they do not have that extra batter at the end through impacts up.
Yeah, and I think Like you mentioned about the impact pay rule in IPL, although there's no impact pay rule in this World Cup or international cricket, but I think the teams have been adding batting depth by including more all-rounders. And if you see in this Indian team, I mean, there's someone like Shivam Dube, Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, so many all-rounders. Even Washington Sundar was in the
Yeah,
reserve; he was not in the playing 11. And
right.
it's not just a template followed by India. Even I saw Pakistan. You see, right after number five, there's an array of all rounders. You talk about Australia. There's an array of all rounders as well. And yeah, that has been the case with many teams. But one thing that really excites me about these particular T20 World Cup is the amount of competition, the close contests we have had, and thanks to the associate nations and the lower ranked nations as well. We saw Nepal was on the verge of beating England. Italy got their first win. There was West Indies. I mean, they're a strong team, no doubt, but they beat England once again. Afghanistan was so close to beat South Africa. My goodness. What's your take about it's a heavenly thing for the sport itself? The associate nations performing best, even Zimbabwe beating Australia.
Yeah, right. I think the associate nations, as well as some of the emerging full member nations like Ireland, and all of them have been like performing really well. And I think that is heartwarming to see. And the fact, I think T20, the format allows that kind of that. Because of the shorter nature of the format, it allows the smaller teams to sort of bridge that gap between them and a bigger side. And the fact that all these associate teams are players in these teams are sort of playing all the different franchise leagues across the world, I think that has helped them bridge the gap as well. Previously the issue with smaller nations were that they weren't getting those consistent international games, which is still the same, but the franchise cricket is as close to international games as possible, so they're getting those games under their belt. uh, if you consider the US cricket team there, obviously I stay here right now. India is my first team, but the US, I've interacted with a lot of people working closely with US cricket, and their team consists of like uh, really battle hardened first class players, like the likes of Shubham Ranjane, and uh, there's so many other talents,
Yeah,
Netravalkar,
all of
and
them.
yeah. So all of these players have had like very strong cricketing background, and coming here they're playing the major league cricket that is opening. They're able to sort of rub shoulders with top international stars, top coaches here. uh, then there that opens pathway for them to play other leagues around in Caribbean or in Dubai. So yeah, I think even though I think the international structure is a little bit still flawed in that sense that they do not really get too many top quality international matches. There are other administrative issues with, especially with maybe US cricket and other associate teams. But the fact that they're able to play so many franchisee games, which have quality almost as near as international cricket, is sort of helping them do well in the T20 format. And it is good for international cricket, especially uh, in cricket's bid to sort of make it a globalized sport.
Yeah, and definitely, I think people always, I mean, there's a tendency of many pundits to look at franchise cricket in a different perspective. I mean, to look at how it's killing Test cricket or just minimizing the view, the interest of a longer format of cricket. But I think you also have to see the other way around. There's the T20 franchise leagues that's helping cricketers and the associate nations give exposure. I mean, if you're good enough, you get the chance to play in the ILT20, in the MLC, and so on. And that's a fair point you made out, Debjit. And that could be one of the possible reasons behind the rise of these associate nations. And talk about some big nations now. I mean, Australia, England, the big houses. But certainly something's not working for both these teams. England incur a loss against West Indies, although they came back strong in the last game. But when it comes to Australia, there's no Pat Cummins, there's no Josh Hazelwood, there's no Mitchell Stark is retired, and somewhere down the line, it seems like Australia is struggling. And with the Zimbabwe win, it was a nostalgic moment. Uh, right from the back. So, how do you see these things? I mean, like big nations, do you see Australia, England bouncing back in their own style?
Yeah, I think so. I think England. I think they have a match remaining with Italy, which they are expected to win, and then once they that would help them get through this phase. Australia, on the other hand, have a slightly tricky fixture against Sri Lanka, where they need
Yeah.
to navigate their spin battery of Tiksana and I think Hasaranga will be in their lineup. So. Uh, so yeah, but having said that, I think Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe also play each other, so they might. So one of them will is definitely going to lose points. So I think in all likelihood they will navigate out of the group. But post that, I'm a little doubtful whether Australia can go all the way given their current form. I think they had a torrid time against Pakistan as well coming into the World Cup. But yeah, I mean you can't ever discount them. But I think there are a few other teams that might be challenging for the trophy.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that Australia is a team you can discount them, and that is fair enough. I mean, you never can write off Australian team in a T20 in any ICC tournament, right? And that is one good thing about Australia. I do see them bouncing back. Let's see how things, but it's not going to be easy with Sri Lanka playing at home and the array of spinners that they need to tackle. But they need someone like Travis Head, Josh English to pull off. I mean, do the run scoring. Someone like Glenn Maxwell needs to showcase what he's capable of. Yeah, let's see how things unfold for them. But with the West Indies, on the other hand, has played some good cricket. I mean, building onto the T20 World Cup, people were talking about New Zealand, India, South Africa, Australia, England, but no one really spoke a lot about the giants of T20 cricket who once used to be giants, the West Indies, and now they're showing that they're at the top of the table in their own group, and they've beaten England, and they look like a solid team.
Yeah, I mean, West Indies always are a very dangerous team in T20 format, and they've got some really big hitters, a lot of good all rounders, and uh, yeah, I think they would be a team to watch out for. I think on that day they could be really devastating, and it all depends on which West Indies team turns up on the day. So, so
Very much.
yeah, I mean they have shown it in 2016 famously how they defeated India in the semis and then England in the final, and they did it in the subcontinent. So they would be looking to sort of replicate that success story again here.
Yeah, and the conditions suit them as well. They've got some good spinners in Gurukesh Moti, Akil Hussain. The pitch is gonna get wear and tear as the time progresses, and I think it's really gonna suit their game.
Yeah, definitely. I think they have a good mix of a good mix in their bowling attack and more importantly their batting, which has a lot of firepower. So uh, yeah, I mean they are going to give headache to a lot of big teams out there, and they could be dark horses for the semifinals.
Yeah, definitely. I won't discount on the West Indies, although they're in a group with South Africa, India, and probably Australia or someone who might replace Australia. It's going to be a good fight, nevertheless. And uh, talking about a match that the you love the most, you cherish the most in the T20 World Cup, what would that be? I mean, I think it's quite an easy question for you to answer, but again,
Yeah, I think the Afghanistan South Africa match with two super overs it was arguably one of the greatest T20 international in the history of the game, and uh, especially given the context that it was in a World Cup match. Not long ago, I think Afghanistan played a similar two super over match against India, which was I think a dead rubber in January of 2024, I guess, which they
2024.
also ended up losing. I think it was probably three super overs, probably. I think in that match, uh, I remember Ravi Vishnoi probably bowling the last super over where they got bowled out. I think this was the match
Yeah,
where I
Rohit
think
Sharma was the captain then.
yeah, I think Rohit Sharma scored a century. I think it is a huge partnership with Rinku
Yeah,
Singh after India had collapsed to I think
exactly.
20 or
Yeah.
20 odd for four. Yeah, so yeah, I think hard luck for them. I think uh, I mean they were really close and uh, to get that win, and uh, South Africa has been in the last two World Cups been almost at the receiving end of such losses. I think if you remember in the last World Cup, I think they were very close to losing to
Yeah,
Nepal, and even that match could have
really.
gone to super over. And if had they run a little carefully in the last ball, uh, but yeah, I think that was one of the best matches. Apart from that, I think Zimbabwe winning over Australia, that was also a although not a close match, but a big upset.
Unpredictable outcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was a good match to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the conditions in India has really played out well. I mean, unlike during the IPL, we see a run fest
Hmm.
for both the batters, the bowlers, and it's been a test of skill set, don't you reckon?
Yeah, I think the matches have been good so far. I think it has been a even contest between bat and ball. Haven't seen too many matches with huge scores. I think most of them have been evenly contested. The associate nations have come close to beating the bigger teams, and I think it has been a really good start to the T20 World Cup.
All right, Devjit, before we wrap up this session, I'd like to hear the final predictions from your side. Who do you think are going to be in the semi-finals? And who do you see the eventual champions? And one wild prediction that you need to make regarding the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, I think with regards to the semi-finals, I think it's going to be India, South Africa, probably um, England, and the fourth team is something that is dicey. I would from the other group, I think it's going to be England, and the only other name that comes to my mind is probably New Zealand. Uh, Sri Lanka, I mean, again, if the conditions suit them, they could probably make it, but I would still favor New Zealand probably, given their overall skills in T20.
All right, thank you so much, Devjit, for that. Yeah, in the final, do you see a repeat of India versus South Africa this time,
Uh,
or
yeah,
any other thing?
yeah. I think these India and South Africa are the top two teams. So, and I believe it could well be a repeat of the last World Cup.
Yeah, in fact, even I felt the same. I mean, looking at the on-paper display and also the approach they're batting with, and with the amount of confidence the team is playing, I mean, I won't be surprised if it's a repeat of India versus South Africa from the 2024 T20 World Cup.
Yeah, yeah. Could well be.
I know, while prediction you would like to make, Deepjit, I mean, it's quite a tricky, but yeah, let's go with it.
Um, Uh, do you have any particular area in which I should make? I mean, I don't see a surprise winner in this World Cup, though. I think it's very likely to be India, or if it does, if India has one off day, it could be South Africa. But I don't see anything really remarkable happening apart from maybe. Uh, I mean, I would have. I think the only bold prediction could have been if West Indies could have reached the semifinals. But again, if they are sort of clubbed into a group with India, South Africa, and Australia, it might be a difficult task for them. Maybe Sri Lanka making it all the way. I mean, that could be a good surprise, especially if they have favorable conditions and they're able to make it to the semifinal and then have a great day out there. So that would be a repeat of the 2014 uh, T20 World Cup final.
14 T20 World Cup final.
Yeah, that could be something.
Yeah, yeah, Sri Lanka do have an outside chance, keeping in mind that they're playing, they're the co-host. Yeah, but let's see how things unfold. We'll get to see it. It's just a matter of few weeks. And yeah, thank you so much, firstly, Devjit, for joining in. It's always a pleasure to pick your brains around this game of ours, this cricket. And yeah, to everyone watching, make sure to subscribe this channel, Cricket Reborn, and follow our social media handles to not miss any of it. And do follow Devjit's Instagram account. Forgotten Cricket Memories is doing a superb job as usual. He's on the verge of clicking 100K followers on Instagram. Just a 10K, I think, short of 10K or approximately. So yeah, make sure that you follow his anecdotes as well. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Arjun. Thank you for having me on the show.